Well, just about to wrap up for the evening here and just getting done with the market report for Tracy, California. And I wanted to share with you that overall, the real estate market in Tracy did really well this month, considering the circumstances that we are all in. If you look at February, and keep in mind, February, we're coming off a hot month in February. February was, the Tracy market was taking off. And if you look at the stats for February, we had 63 closed sales and 75 homes go into contract. If you look at the March stats, we had 57 closed sales and 78 homes go into contract. Now, there was a drop off in closed sales for the month of March, and that's simply tied to the coronavirus. That's where the drop off occurred. I saw people just firsthand cancel contracts because they lost their job or had concerns. That's where the drop off came from. But I wanted to show you something. If you look at the last 7 days in the Tracy market, let me show you. Look at this. 8 new listings, but 14 homes went into contract in the last week. So that is great. That is really, really good. And if you look at the foot traffic, we've had showings across different price ranges in Tracy, California. So I want to tell you that Tracy market is still alive. It's not completely dead. I've been getting calls that, the market's going to take a huge drop. That's not the case. This downturn is different. I will not call it a downturn. I won't say we're frozen, because the last downturn we had back in, 08, that was the foreclosure crisis. And the common call or email or question I get from most people nowadays is that, are we going to see another foreclosure crisis? And I'm going to tell you no. I'm going to tell you the reason why I say no. Back in 2008, if you didn't make your payment for 6 months, bam, you were out the door. The banks would foreclose on you right away. Back then, the only bailouts that were occurring, the government was bailing out the banks. There was no programs in place to help people that own homes. Look at now. You can see in the media and the news that banks are already taking that position. They are getting involved at the early stages of this crisis, and they are offering the freeze payments for 90 days. Now you say, well, 90 days may not be enough. We don't know. But you can tell from the position here that it's a different way to engage with us. Whereas back in 08, they weren't even talking to us. They were just basically, sending our phone calls to India, and that was it. This time around, it's a lot different. So, and the other piece I want to add to that is that if you don't recall, but back in 08 and enacted in 2013 was the California Homeowner Bill Rights Act. And that basically was a direct result of the robo-signing scandal from the foreclosure crisis. And what does that mean? That means that California has laws in place that if a homeowner is falling behind on their mortgage payment, the banks are forced to engage and offer solutions to keep that homeowner in their home. They do not want to foreclose on them. That is the least option that they want to take. So there's different ways they're doing that through forbearance programs, freezing payments, loan modification. There's just different things in place now that didn't exist back in 2008. And so that kind of stuff being here is going to prevent a wave of foreclosures. And that's why I tell you, for those two reasons, I don't think you're going to see another wave of foreclosures. Quite honestly, there are properties being foreclosed upon every month in Tracy and throughout California. It's just part of the real estate market. Some people lose their home for different circumstances. That's happening all the time. But I wanted to share, just to know that the market is going to be fine. I ultimately expect the Tracy market that once we kind of get out of this frozen period, that things will start to pick back up. Because if you don't remember, we've had a lack of inventory for quite some time in Tracy overall. And we are still seeing homes go into contract. You can see here, we had, 14 pending sales last week. That's pretty good. So those are my thoughts. That's my opinion. Don't kill me for it. But just know that these are the stats, and you can keep a look yourself on my website here, dpiWOW.com/blog. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to just give you one quick tip here, that if you currently have your home listed in Tracy, and I just saw this come to my phone now, but If you're having to price reduce your home to generate activity, I would closely look at those price reductions because the market is frozen. So before you do a price reduction on your home, do a careful analysis with your agent before you make that adjustment. Price reductions right now are sending the wrong signal to the market. So carefully look at those before you make those adjustments. Well, I hope you guys stay safe and well. And if you have any questions, you can always reach me at 844-437-4969. Take care and be safe.